What's up, you? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? What's up, everybody? Um, this is actually about what I think of the Flash movie, what I think about Blue Beetle, some of Marvel movies, some of the hate this movie think is getting, in my opinion, is just unwarranted, and plus for the screens, my birthday screen as well. Since I couldn't do it yesterday, I can do it today. But that and kind of like everybody listening to this, just I hope y'all having a good day because my day is going well. It's going well. And stuff like that. Because my birthday going well. It's kind of backwards in a way because then for me it sounds like you're supposed to judge the movie based on the movie. Don't judge the movie based on the person that's in it. Because the last time I checked in time for movies and stuff like that, you supposed to judge the movie based on the thing what they bring. But it seemed like to me, in my opinion, that under some personal feelings got in the way and just critiquing this movie, in my opinion, and that is me. Because you let the Flash movie, they had stakes to it, and and plus, in my opinion, Ezra Miller did a good job displaying two people. In my opinion, he did because just he did get a good job in playing two people. In my opinion, yeah, I can agree with it. If y'all want to change my mind based on that, be because the thing about me, in my opinion, what I think of it is like I do actually think that the and and kind of like my opinion of the of Ezra Miller, it could that he played good and stuff like that. But then, in my opinion, it sounds like I think the movie would be better if they would have had Superman and Supergirl in it. I think, in my opinion, if they could have had both of them fighting Zod, I think, and stuff like that, and that would have made the movie a little bit better. As long with Zoom in the movie, because they could have had two flashes. Like in my opinion, pushing watching Zoom and stuff like that. If they would have had a Zoom in the movie or a Salvatore or somebody, and that just me, in my opinion, that would have been good. If they would have had a Zoom, Professor Zoom, anything like that, and just have the Ben Affleck Batman, um, the Ben Affleck Batman kind of interact just with Michael Keaton Batman, because they both of them would have been, up in my opinion, it would have been a good thing. In my opinion, they would have had that. because because damn me what I think like some people might not like the way I do things and stuff like that. But the thing about it, where I think the Flash was not really bad. I saw the Transformers movie. The Transformers movie was good. It's not as people expected to be, but it was good though. The Transformers movie was good, but it just wasn't expected. Everybody expected to be. What I think, in my opinion. But the Transformers movie was actually fun. The Ezra Miller movie did have stakes. It was a fun movie to look at. It was funny at parts, but but the kind of thing for me, I try to understand, in my opinion, that everybody hating on it, talking some. This is one of the worst comic book movies. No, it's not. Because then, in my opinion, should be because I think some people is taking it It's just taking it too far when it said it's one of the worst comic book movies, and it's not, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Bar. Thank. Oh, thank you, man. If you want to come in there, you could. Be because the thing about it, what I don't get about the Flash, I get that some people didn't like his version of the Flash. That's not my problem. The people that have good criticism, objecting, but the thing about it is, some people criticism came from they didn't like him personally. I said, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to listen more based on your personal opinions. You're supposed to do it based on how can I say this? You supposed to you supposed to not like because of the story. You didn't like the story and stuff like that. I understand that if you don't like the story, I understand that. But the thing about it, something there like it because of outside stuff. I said, wait a minute. Hey, you look about outside stuff. Tony Stewart shouldn't even be on Iron Man. It looking at that like that and stuff like that. What's up, Barcode?
Is happy birthday.
That they kind of I think the Flash movie is getting too much. Some of the hate I get, but the
I
thing
mean,
is, it sound like they say they try to say it's the worst comic book movie. It's not because the worst comic book movie belongs in Marvel right now. Captain Marvel,
yeah, I agree with
She Hulk,
you. Yeah, yeah, I
because
agree with that.
because they
But
news people be lying on the internet talking the Flash movie is the worst comic book movie. I say if you
no,
compare the story from She Hulk and Captain Marvel to the Flash movie, Flash movies
it's
beat them.
some better. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I can agree on that. Yeah.
Because the thing about the Flash movie is like they couldn't do it completely like the on the Flash Paradox movie
Right.
because thing about James Gunn didn't hire Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. I said that he would have did that. Half of the movie would have been solved, and they would have
Yeah.
had Henry Cavill come back. I think, in my opinion, if they want to hire a new Superman that's younger, I said that's not gonna work out too good. Be, because they already went that route just with Brandon Routh. They tried that with him. They put it didn't work.
Right.
But the thing, in my opinion, it's like what wrong with hiring just hiring Henry Cavill? Oh, what's up? If you want to come in there, you could if you want to. And kind of like the thing that I don't get by these Marvel people
Well,
and Marvel TikTokers who talk some this movie bad. Shoot, if we go
I
back
mean,
in phase
right,
four,
sorry.
if we go back in phase 4 and 5, and just like compare their movies to the comic books, half of them movies should be going down. This is the worst comic book shows.
Yeah. Um,
Because I think sometimes I go on TikTok and listen to some of these Marvel people who claim to be unbiased, but they're not. The time
yeah.
in time for DC movies, they is not unbiased. And half of them got their following just for hating on DC movies. Because you tell them just say something good about a DC movie, man, they won't do it. They won't do it. And, and,
Yeah.
and that just me and my opinion. What I noticed because like the same people who I noticed supposed to be like these big influencers on comic book stuff. I'm looking at them. I
Yeah.
say, you don't see no good in a Flash movie. I say, come on now. It,
Yeah.
it,
I do agree. Yeah.
I just don't get it
But
because I'm looking at them. I said, wait a minute. Y'all supposed to be comic book people who read comics, and you didn't see no good time for the stakes the Flash movie brought.
yeah,
Ezra
it
Miller,
was not. It's basically Superman where just when man says about Superman. Plays with Superman, that's it. Basically,
Yeah,
but yeah, that people
because
say, yeah.
damn me, sure. I think the movie was it wasn't bad, but it wasn't a bad movie. I
It
think, in
needs some
my opinion,
improvement.
yeah, it was a good movie in my opinion, just to get the university started. You know what I mean?
To
Just to get it
jumpstart, yeah,
restarted,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
The reboot, right? Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
reboot, yeah.
and that was some people seem to forget. This wasn't a movie that like an ending of a
Just
phase.
reboot for it, right? Just the reboot for it.
Yeah, it, and that's how I can tell people that actually read behind the scenes and people that don't, when they do the review, looking at talk something, it's not a good movie. I'm looking at them. I say it's a
Mm.
reboot. It, it, it,
Yeah,
it,
just not supposed to be the ending of it. So
yeah, because you're not supposed to take the story seriously. It's a reboot. What in the world y'all thinking? And talk about a bad
yeah, it's
movie.
just a reboot. Mm. Yeah,
It
same like Transform movie, the new one, like the hype, the Wild Beast one. That's a
yeah.
reboot, so so don't blame the hype of it. Yeah,
I don't get the reason why people judging this movie like it's supposed to be an ending of a phase movie. It's not.
just
It
not really. Yeah, just
it just
yeah,
the first movie of a phase to get everybody started. And this is the reason why I say, tell some James Gunn might not like it, but that's what James Gunn got to bring back Henry Cavill as Superman. Because the young Superman they got, he could be in up up in the Robert Pattinson Batman world. You know what I mean? Since his Batman's over there, Robert Pattinson Batman over there,
right.
they
Yeah,
can put the young Superman over there and start their
yeah,
universe,
yeah,
and just bringing Henry Cavill to be up in the main universe, because that's what DC did before. Just with
yeah.
Brandon Routh, um, Ryan Reynolds, just try to start their stuff just with first comic book stuff. That junk don't work
Mm, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
And and plus, you ask the general public what Superman they like, they got two of them. They got Christopher
yeah.
Reeves, they got
Mm-hmm.
Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah,
They, those and for the third one is Joel Reeves. Joel Reeves before just before
How about Brian Ralph though? Brian Ralph for Superman.
yeah,
He's
I like
also
his Superman too, but the thing is he should have
didn't
had
come
two villains in that movie. He should have had two villains, a
right.
physical threat
Yeah,
and put the one for a mental threat. And that would have make it a better movie, I think, in my opinion. But I think the person who made a movie would try to make it a mental movie, and that don't work doing a Superman movie because deal with
yeah.
Superman, you gotta give him a physical threat and put some mental threat and Lex Luthor.
So,
Unless you doing Zod, which could bring you both. Zod, some of his Superman villains, which is actually smart and actually strong at the same time, or Brainiac,
yeah,
that is a Justice League threat. That's the only thing that I probably could think of if they want to do just a one villain thing just for Brandon Routh. This, this should have bring in my opinion, Zod
amazing.
just for the
Yeah,
Brandon Routh Superman movie,
to be yeah. You know, yeah,
and that would have made that movie a lot better. I think,
yeah,
in my opinion. And some people out there probably couldn't defend it, but I'm looking at them. I say, y'all do agree with me, right? It could have had two villains in that movie, right? But they
yeah.
telling me talking something. No, it was good with
No,
one. But I'm looking at them. I say,
I seriously. It's mean like the second villain for
yeah, because the Lex Luthor Superman was that Lex Luthor in that movie actually was good. He was an excellent villain.
yeah,
That wasn't the problem, and
yeah,
that what people just don't get. The Lex Luthors and stuff like that in the movies is not the problem. The problem is that the Bill directors think that's all they need
yeah,
in a movie, and that's not true. To Superman, or just giving him challenges and stuff like that to do throughout the movie. Sound like make him choose who to save and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
that was
fair
just
enough.
my opinion. If they would have given him a challenge just to save, or give
That's
him a
out.
time limit and stuff like that,
Right.
throughout the movie, sound like a Riddler,
Mm-hmm.
and that jump would be good. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because then with me, in my opinion, if they give a Superman new villain, then they give him a Riddler type villain besides Lex Luthor that can actually challenge Superman
Yeah.
morality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be, be,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
be,
Yeah.
because you look at Batman, Riddler and the Joker is Batman hardest villains that don't fight him head
Yeah.
on
Fair enough. Fair enough.
and stuff like that. Because then if they could get Superman just a Riddler type villain, long at and along with a physical threat, that'd be one of the greatest Superman movies ever made.
Yeah.
And that was Zack Snyder actually just was trying to build before WB came in and messed it up. Tell us they want the other Superman. I'm looking at them. I say, really?
Yeah.
Because think about it, should y'all try y'all Superman just with Brandon Routh? It flopped in the box office.
Yeah.
It flopped in the box office. It is a reason. It is a reason why Zack Snyder actually tried his way, because the people actually was complaining about Superman being born, and people got mad at Zack when he changed it up. I said, wait a minute, wasn't y'all the same people complaining about some Superman always the same in all the movies? And he give
Yeah.
you a Superman that is kind of realistic, learning how to be Superman. Y'all hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't get that.
Yeah. Fair
And,
enough.
and these be the same Marvel, DC fans, stuff like that. Talk some I didn't want Superman to just go that far. What have y'all not seen New 52 Superman? He's different than all the
Yeah.
rest of Supermans, and,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. And that's how you can tell people that read comics and people that don't. They tell us Superman. There's a Boy Scout. I say, have you seen the last two versions of Superman? The last two versions? Because I'm looking at them. I say, y'all do not read comics, look at animation shows, and nothing. Superman never was that much of a Boy Scout, and he will
Yeah.
kill if he have to.
Yeah.
And that what people just don't get. Tell us on Superman don't kill. I say, really? Superman don't kill? Have y'all not read the comics? He killed lots of stuff that threaten the Earth.
Yep. Not ultimate version of him, just the main
That
version. Yeah.
just even the main version of him just down kill villains. His
Yeah.
main version that kill villains, and people try to say Batman don't kill. I say, excuse me,
He do kill for me.
be, be,
The
be,
main
be,
version. Yeah.
because you try to tell me that on the Audio Henchmen is like surviving all these falls
Yeah.
from buildings, steps, and dropping Christmas trees.
Right.
And you tell me Batman ain't killing? Come on now.
Right.
Because we cannot be delusional about these heroes not killing at all, because that don't make
Yeah.
sense. And these be the same people. These are the same people that claim to some. We want something different. When you get something different from DC, it actually be good. They don't like it, because I'm looking at them. I say, how in the world do you not like the How do you not like the new version of Superman that Zack Snyder tried to give you? And and that's what Zack Snyder said. He was learning to be the bright Superman. He was learning to be that. He was a rookie in his first movie.
Yeah.
Because you look at Man of Steel, the BVS, and people seem to forget that most of the time when they look at the movie because because think about it, he was Superman just from a long time, something like Batman was. Batman being Superman, Batman been Batman for years. If you look at the comics, even before Superman came into the picture in the comic books,
Yeah.
and and that was who was seen to forget most of the time, in my opinion, because you look at it, because if you look at it, if you look at it, this movie right here just might do better on DVD. I think, in my opinion, this Flash movie might get appreciated over time. I think something like the Man of Steel did, because you remember that people didn't like Man of Steel at first, just until they saw it on TV and stuff like that. Most people, and that was some people seem to appreciate Henry Cavill. It was nice to me, and just in my opinion, um, and Barco, it's not gonna get right that just by nobody
Right.
Marvel is talking about. Tell us some
Mm-hmm.
why is Craven the Hunter not in the MCU and nobody talking about it?
Uh, that I've probably not too very
Because you
bad
seen the trailer.
reviews.
Could you look
Yeah,
at
but
the trailer talks on Sony? I say excuse me,
yeah,
Sony. I thought Disney
yeah,
and y'all supposed to be working together. That what y'all was saying all this time. That
yeah,
they're
but
just doing the press conference, in the press conference dealing with the Comic Con stuff like that. Y'all was saying Spider-Man villains and Disney just want to work together.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I just ain't seeing that right now.
yeah,
And and that one nobody just for the MCU or TikTok or anything like that who puts to be a comic book creator is talking is like
yeah,
it is not talking about it, and they're not calling Disney out for like not bringing in those villains inside the universe and be able to change.
right,
Um, because then, in my opinion, which I noticed deal with Disney is sound like Disney want villains when they don't got to go rated R with
yeah,
most of the
mm,
time. But still, in my opinion, it's all some just because I think like they already used the Vulture
yeah,
because just Michael Keaton just not came back to DC. He over here on DC. It's it's too late to use him now. It's too late to use Michael Keaton Vulture now. You fucking use Sharker. Um, so they might need Rhino or wait a minute. Dang. Rhino would be a good villain, but the thing is, Rhino is not a villain like a final boss type villain
yeah,
because they need somebody else to be with him if they're gonna have Rhino in the
yeah,
movie. Be, be,
yeah,
because the thing about Rhino is a cool villain, but the thing is, Rhino is not a type of villain like Rhino. He's not a mastermind type villain like you be
yeah,
scared of by yourself.
right. Probably like some smart
Uh,
villain.
um, they can use the Hobgoblin. The
I mean,
Hobgoblin.
actually, yeah. But who played Highlander?
But the thing, in my opinion, is like is Disney willing to bring is they willing to bring the on the rating up the rated R if it's necessary. That's the thing. Or PG
Yeah,
13, or PG 13 hard PG 13 or TV 14. Because you look at it, shoot, the Hobgoblin just don't play the time for like time for movies and stuff like that. time for his character, the hobgoblins, the goblin, and the hobgoblin could be like rated R characters,
But
and that was some people
yeah,
seem to forget half of the time, because think about when they think the Marvel, because they think TV PG-13 PG because of Disney. Because you look at it, Random Rock should have been a rated R or TV-14 movie. Really,
yeah,
if you look at it as a whole and stuff like that, just like as a movie, man, shoot, that kind of got on my nerves really when I saw Random Rock and everybody called it one of the best story movies. I'm looking at them, I say, oh shoot, if they call Thor Ragnarok the best movie, and they hating on but they hating on the Flash movie, their opinion is just invalid.
yeah. I mean, I pension solid. Yeah, for that one. Yeah, for
Their,
Rich, for them.
their opinion is just invalid to me. I think, in my opinion, because you shouldn't be hating on the Flash movie at all if you think that
Yeah,
this movie
but
actually was bad and you like Ragnarok. Come on now, come
yeah,
on now, because you
I
should be the
give it a
last one.
decent movie. I give it a decent movie. I saw on TikTok live stream the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I give it decent. Yeah, it's just reboot. So yeah,
yeah. Therefore, a reboot first movie. That's actually a good movie, I think, in my opinion. Oh,
yeah. For
thank
no
you for
Grant
that.
Gustin. Yeah, right. This one with no Grant Gustin cameo for
Yeah,
Flash.
because because damn, my opinion, what I think of it, just about the Flash movie, it's not the best movie. I can admit that's not the best movie, but I give it an 8 out of 10. Just to be a reboot, it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, for yeah.
Because then, in my
I
opinion,
mean,
if that was a movie
sorry.
by itself, I would have give it a 5.
Yeah,
Because think about it, because you could have hired a Superman, you could have hired a Zoom and everything like that,
he did with the
and
Reverse
that
Flash
was
too.
yeah,
But if we could get evil on the version live action though, they're behind the scenes though. It's so weird.
yeah, and but the thing about it, in my opinion, sound like I hate to say it, James Gunn. I think, in my opinion,
Right?
he gotta had to start film so many movies. Like he said doing that press conference thing he got me doing, because damn buddy, he better start filming it early. Because if he don't start filming it early based on the story that he building, if he want to do like the MCU, he got to start filming them movies and shows early. And it's some of the easiest thing to do might be the animated movies. It's sound like the big
Yeah,
old for me, if they would do like the Commander movie, coming out with an animated movie, and that do good animation, they could bring that to real life and just as a separate, just separate things. Sound like how can I say this? It'd be like the Suicide Squad, but it'd be similar, but it'd be like the Suicide Squad similar
right.
if they can do it like that. But the thing, in my opinion, which I think people might hate on DC, if they animated movies actually be good, if they could bring it animated and plus live action, shoot, the Marvel people got me saying it's awesome. Marvel did it first.
Yeah,
I said, come
yeah.
on now, because y'all know
Right.
Marvel
This one.
never did animation onto the big screen. And
Yeah,
the closest thing, in my opinion, they could have did it with, and just with the first Doctor Strange movie, and they screwed that up
yeah.
with with,
Just make
some of their
animation.
cast.
Yeah.
Because the thing I mean, it's like they didn't have to kill the ancient one, in my opinion, though, in that movie.
No, no. They can't
It,
make her pass down. They can't mentor him, but still, yeah. He was hired. I mean.
if they want to
Or
kill him
kill something.
up in the second Doctor Strange movie of him
That's fine.
sacrificing himself to send him just for Scarlet Witch
Right.
or something like that, I would have been cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you kill the ancient one just by a student,
Yeah.
which don't make
That's right.
sense.
No.
A
Yeah.
student that wasn't even fully trained. He was one of the best. He was one of the best students.
But it's
But the
not
thing is,
essential.
yeah, he wasn't
That's
even a
also essential.
master.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you look at the Doctor Strange Mordor that wasn't animated. He was a master. That one right there.
Yeah. That's conservative. That's just good.
That-
It's right there.
yeah, he was a master student.
Both. Yeah. Both in
This
common.
Mordor that we got up in Doctor
Live
Strange.
action.
Yeah,
It was different. Different for yeah.
yeah. Because you look at the difference in between the two Mordors. I was more scared of one, the animated one, than the one that was in live action.
Yeah, but it's more
Uh,
character term. I mean, for
yeah, and the kind of thing about it, should they introduce them the right way? Yeah, up in the
course.
animated version. Because you could have tell that the live action one was good, but the thing about the one in MCU seemed like he might be, how can I say this? He got he got jealous for no reason in the MCU.
Yeah.
Talk about something. He got mad for the Asian one for using dark magic. I said, just having dark magic is not the problem. Oh,
No.
what's up, Dirk?
I do. You know.
That it's how you use it, and that was something people seem to
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah. For
Because in my opinion, it just having dark energy is not the problem. Oh, thank
yes, not a problem for you.
yeah, and and that's the problem in my opinion that some people forget is not dark or light magic. It's how you use it. It's most of the
Yeah.
time.
Just like the Force. You use for good or evil.
Yeah,
So yeah. It's not a
yeah,
problem
yeah,
to use a dark or just how to use it. But to choose to use it.
yeah. Because you look at Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Sound like that they would have judged Goku and everything like that. Just by being an alien, he would have been evil right off rip.
But off that, yeah.
And, and that's the problem that I think that some people have with DC because they expect more for DC than for Marvel. But I'm looking at them, I say, wait a minute now. If you expect all this quality from a DC movie, why don't y'all have the same energy just for Marvel movies when y'all know that some of these things don't be right? That
Yeah.
time for movies and shows. Be- be- be-
Okay.
because like the She-Hulk show, they was defending that show to the T. They was defending that
Yeah.
She-Hulk show. They were defending
Mm-hmm.
Miss Marvel. They were defending She-Hulk and Arnold show. Something like that. On the Miss Marvel show wasn't. How can I say this? They should have cast somebody older to be
Yeah. Not younger. Yes,
to
the
to
Young Avenger, but come on.
yeah.
If the Young Avenger be a long time ago for
Because you look at it, the comic book fans don't even like the Young Avengers.
yeah.
If you ask them which team they like, the Young Avengers is the last one. It's one of the last Marvel teams that they really acknowledge.
Yeah.
Time for stuff like that. They're kind of like the last team they really acknowledge most of the time and stuff like that. That that
Yeah.
sounds like that. They like the last team people like in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So they really they, you need to do Avengers, Guardian of the Galaxies. They like all them teams.
Yeah. All
But
things
the
are
thing about it, they do
that's
not
the Young
like
Avenger.
the Young
The
Avengers
Young Avenger.
because they
Mm-hmm.
kids. This me talking some look at if you look at DC Titans, it do not say They do not say the DC Titans take over for the Justice League. They just
No,
a
have its
separate
own team.
team for the Justice League.
A
They just an
team.
extension of the Justice League team
Yeah,
that Young Avengers is just the only one that can save the world. They can save the world and stuff like that. They do not say that in DC. They always said they got like they got DC over. They let Young Avengers take over. Cause I'm looking at this, I said, wait a minute, where the X-Men's at? That with the Young
yeah.
Avengers, because think about it, if the Avengers retire, wouldn't
Just
the
to
X-Men
take
take over?
over. Yeah, well, it's what?
Yeah, because shit, the thing about it that always got on my nerves with Young Avengers. I say, teenagers, you put teenagers to take over to save the Earth. DC
Yeah,
don't even do that with Titans.
no,
DC don't even do that with Titans, and Titans got Raven, Starfire,
Beast
Cyborg,
Boy,
Robin.
Beast Boy, Beast Boy. Yeah,
They got hitters over there in DC, and
yeah,
and Beast, and they don't even got that. They don't got no hitters over there. They don't got no hitters. Ultron,
yeah.
Red Skull. What's she supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because Thor daughter is just like a
Helen.
rockhead, just like her father. She's a hot
Yeah.
headed.
Mm-hmm.
She is hot headed, man. She is hot headed in my opinion. Thor daughter.
Yeah.
And the thing, in my opinion, shoot, I thought Thor had a son. That's what I thought, but they changed it to a daughter in the animation thing. Because shoot, with that thing, in my opinion, shoot, I am sick and tired of people keep on changing sons to daughters in comic book stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this, I said, because thing like DC, um, if a hero have kids, they have a son and a daughter at the same time, or just twins or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
boy or a girl, or two girls or two boys. They're making even. Marvel, they, they changed just the Holly Starfire character
Marvel.
supposed to be a male. If you saw the animated movie of the Young Avengers, Hawkeye had a son, not a daughter that's supposed to take over for him.
Yeah.
But but the problem is Marvel forced Kate Bishop on everybody in the comic books, and now we forced to look at it now in the
Yeah.
MCU, and that's the problem. I think, in my opinion, and that's my problem most of the time. Like I'm dealing with MCU, it sounds like it's not the announcements. The announcements and shows is not my problem.
So
It's
how
how this
programming.
it's yeah, it's how these stories go. because
Yeah.
think about it. I bet you this the Blue Beetle movie will come out.
Would be
They
better.
Yeah, it'd be better than most of the movies in Phase 4 and 5, and even better than Flash. I'm willing to admit that.
Yep. Because the trailer
And
is just oof, Cobra Kai is so good. So yeah.
and but you know about the villain that's in Blue Beetle. Um, he's an actual villain in the comic books.
He he or she. That was the villain is she in
He's a
that
soldier.
movie.
That the way they show him in the trailer,
The female,
he's
right?
kind of similar to that in the comic books.
Ah, okay. So okay. Well, yeah.
And that's actually a good thing in my opinion,
It's good.
because think about it, if you can make it similar or somewhat close to what's in the comic books, I'm good with it.
Then different. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good with it. Because the problem is, in my opinion, what I be seeing sound like that some of these Marvel characters. don't even act like themselves. There wasn't comic books on screen, and nobody says nothing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Who who supposed to be Marvel? Who supposed to be Marvel? Comic book readers and DC comic book readers. They don't even say nothing because I'm looking at this. I keep on looking at this. I said, really? She-Hulk don't even act like She-Hulk.
No, it's
Um,
not her character.
yeah, and Hawkeye not even acting like Hawkeye. He's not even acting like Ronin
Yeah.
throughout the series because the series seemed like it was based around Kate Bishop instead of Hawkeye, and the series named Hawkeye.
Yeah. Why name yourself or Kate Bishop or just name yourself
And,
Hawkeye and
and
Kate Bishop or something like that. Or Princess or something.
yeah, and that's my problem with that because I'm looking at this. I say, wasn't about She-Hulk? She-Hulk put She-Hulk for the comic books, and that's what Barco. I was hyped for that. I was hyped for that show,
Really?
and that's what at first, my parents, some of my friends said, "Talk some this show might be bad." That's what I was actually, I was actually, I was actually defending the show before it came out. After I saw it,
You read it. Yeah, I read it. I shouldn't have defended that. Sorry.
yeah, because damn me, I like tell my friend Thompson, look at the show before y'all judge it.
Yeah.
But I saw it, I judge
You
it,
had about it. Yeah.
yeah, and
I was hyped about
my hype went down each week.
it. Yeah.
Because the first episode I let it slide because I thought the second episode just would build
Introduction
on what the first one
on the
did,
characters, but they
but it didn't. They keep on putting politics in it, and she talk about
yeah.
some and
But
she
the
tried to
so-called
tell Bruce Banner. She tried to tell Bruce Banner that and he don't know what she going through. I say, excuse me. I was saying
no,
my I say in my head, I say,
no,
excuse me.
what?
He was hawk for years.
Yeah, he
He had
knows
to
what
be
it look like.
he had to
He's an
be on the
angry person.
run. He had to hide for the government just to like protect your image and just for being his
Of
cousins and
course,
stuff like that.
he go to space. That's why her. Come on. Yeah,
And she was act like a brat to me. She
yeah,
was acting like a spoiled brat doing doing just the first two episodes
yeah.
because she tried to because she because there in my opinion, if they would have had She-Hulk from the comics and bring it to the screen, that show would have been good. And star his son. It's
Yeah.
don't even look like his son.
No. But why
He
make this end though?
he looked like his kid. Cause I'm
Yeah.
looking at this, I say, Scar as
Very
a
similar.
teenager looked like a grown man. I don't get
Really?
it. Scar as a teenager in the comic books look like a grown man in the MCU act like they can't even do that. I don't, man.
And
And and then we and they try to tell me some of my friends, some of my people just try to tell me, tell some it will get better in the future. I look at them. I said, wait a minute,
this one.
y'all don't give DC just that grace.
Yeah.
Time for a DC movie or show, y'all don't even give a DC movie just that grace most of the time. Because y'all be on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, everything talk about some DC just should have got it right the first time. But that's what it is. If it switch up on Marvel, now y'all want to in my opinion, give them grace. I I just don't get that. That's dumb. That's dumb because you don't get to see that thing,
Mm.
in my opinion. Sure, that's just me. and kind of like thing for me. So like did a new Indiana Jones movie came out yet?
I don't think so. I
The
don't know.
Indiana
So I'll wait for that.
because because the problem is the fans of it, the people who fans who get to see it early, and those neutral fans, they say they don't even like it
Yeah,
because they said it got all kind of politics next to it.
yeah.
No, it come out tomorrow, July 2nd.
Oh, okay.
I might not look at it though. That because then for me it's just not like because then shoot I hate to look at a movie and waste my time and stuff
Yeah,
like that because they like the Flash movie have purpose, the Transformers movie have purpose
yeah,
and stuff like that. Because look at it the Transformers movie was part of a reboot and the Flash movie was part of a reboot. That's the purpose of those two movies. But the Indiana Jones movie, I'll wait for that to come on Disney Plus. It be cool in 2 months. I'll save my money. That because the thing about it, in my opinion, sound like if I had to pay to look at She-Hulk series inside movie theaters and that show was that bad, I would have been mad.
yeah.
I would have been mad if I had to pay to
You
look
see,
at that
talk about way back.
She-Hulk series. Man,
Yeah, get a lot of money
I,
for that.
yeah, man. Shoot, man,
Way
and
back. Good,
and and,
good.
and kind of like the bad thing about it, in my opinion, some of the actors of the shows don't even try to speak up for their characters.
No,
Mark Ruffalo, I like him,
see, it was fine, but
but
yeah,
come on now, dog. You know your heart character is stronger than that, and just even his dumb down version of the Hulk is world threatening, and
yeah,
Marvel not even showing it and stuff like that, in my opinion. And 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 kind of like that for me that since this reboot come out, I think that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton is my two top Batmans, and this movie just done submitted for me because you look at this movie, Ben Affleck was the only Batman willing to tell him something. If you try to go back in time and do stuff, it would actually change stuff up in the timeline.
yeah.
You saw the end of the movie when they brought
Mm-hmm.
back George Clooney. I say
Yeah, it
Barry
was. Yeah,
because I look at that. I look at that. I say Barry, you is in the wrong timeline because you don't see your Batman.
yeah. Because he moved to make um to American to that gravity base where get ready to go. Record for
Yeah,
it, yeah. Only time
yeah.
for it, yeah.
Be,
One
because the
movie.
thing about it, up in that Batman universe, Brandon Routh Superman would have been there just
Yeah.
with George Clooney
Mm-hmm.
and not Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Because you look at movie for movie and type of universes, you could bring Brandon Routh back for 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 that universe just where George Clooney in, or some yeah with George Clooney or his Batman. But the only thing for the universe they need is just like a Wonder Woman and an Aquaman for
Yeah.
that universe too.
Yeah.
Because we know what's coming. Some like the Infinite Crisis is coming after a while.
Yeah.
Crisis, Brainiac might be coming
Yep.
and stuff like that. Because it's Brainiac coming. Because Brainiac, Dark Side,
Mm-hmm.
Because the first villain I think coming is not Brainiac on Dark Side.
I'm worried or something.
I,
Or something.
I think it might be somebody, one of the henchmen that's kind of strong,
Right.
who DC just might make a new villain for a movie. I think that's not in the comic books, but the thing just from the movie, they might put it in the movie or something like that. Just bring it out, and that'd be a good thing. I think, in my opinion, if DC actually invented new villains and put it in the movie and say there's a new villain, it's not in the comic books. He got me in the movie with Superman
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that might bring down people expectations and what they expect from the movie. If they want to bring in like a Brainiac or something like that, they could bring it in later after that new villain get his time to shine. After that movie, then you bring in Brainiac, then you bring in Zod and everybody else Superman villains next.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion that'll work.
Figure it out. Yeah. Think it work for it. Have Brian Castle.
And and kind of that bad thing from Marvel what they did, it's like they kill Ultron too fast. I think in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because you look at it, that Ultron movie could have been a two-part movie. That could have been a two-part movie right there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Because you do that Infinity War and Endgame, that's a two-part movie.
Right.
And plus this Ultron movie could be a two-part movie too. But then in my opinion, sound like some of the MCU fans just might come to me and say it's good enough as it is. I say it could have been better.
Still
And they'll
better.
make
I
a
should
two-part
spend
movie
more
because
time.
could
Just bring
yeah, yeah,
Ant-Man
because
early.
mm-hmm. Because you look at the comic books, Ultron is one of the biggest Avengers villains.
Yeah.
He one of their
Going
hardest
Emma
villains.
series. Going to in
Yeah,
the Emma series recurring character. Yeah.
yeah. That I think the reason why they kill him is just because they didn't have no plans, just gonna use him in the future.
Mm,
That's what I that's what I think. Unless it was a contract issue or something like that. It could have been
yeah.
a contract issue or something like that. That's what I think could be. And play you hear and play you hear about play you hear about Zack Snyder Rebel Moon thing. Rebel Moon
No. I didn't have that
because
one.
they
Go
got
ahead.
pictures of it. I think they got pictures of it online, but shoot, I just can't download it right now
That's
because
fine.
then next stream,
Mm-hmm.
if
Talk
I
about
could
it.
download it, I would show it next stream stuff like that. But the
Uh,
kind of thing that is that Zack Snyder is building his own universe on Netflix. And kind
yeah.
of like the bad thing about this is sound like if Zack Snyder make his universe better than DC in 2 or 3 movies,
Mm,
that will make DC firing on him look real bad if he make these movies good
yeah.
over there on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Be- Because the thing about DC is sound like they got to learn. Their vision of a superhero just don't work no more in
Yeah.
in,
Just put
in this
on it.
climate. It don't work most of the time.
Yeah. That thought.
Because like because the versions they want is like in the 70s and the 80s, but that's what you
We need a
can't bring
modern.
70s and 80s Superman.
To nowadays, no.
Yeah,
We need a
nowadays.
modern Superman. We need the
Y-
modern day Superman for our generation and next
Yeah,
generation right now.
yeah, sure. And they want to make this young Superman like the old days Superman. You know what I say? This movie
Yes,
right here
younger.
about to
And
flop. This movie right here about to flop. If they about to think this Superman right here supposed to be like the older versions, like back in the day.
mm,
That is the reason. That is exactly the reason why Zack Snyder changed his Superman because he saw Brandon Routh's Superman fail.
Mm.
The on the version everybody wanted, nobody look at in theaters hardly. Except for me, my family stuff look at it. It was a little bit of people inside that theater. And these be the same fan talks on I like Brandon Rock Superman. You know what I'm saying? Half that stuck this line. Because that's what I've been in the theaters. That theater was halfway empty. That theater was half that theater was halfway empty looking at Brandon Rock Superman. But that's what Zack Snyder Superman, while I saw in theaters, that theater was
Yeah.
full.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
That theater was full in between the two versions. That in between the versions that people claim they want, they didn't look at it. But the versions that were different, they actually look at it. Because the thing off for me, it sounded like Zack Snyder before the movie came out, he told people that it was a young Superman that was learning how to be Superman, and that is actually a good strategy to do
Yeah.
if you make
I hope
movies.
we'll catch better.
Make your
So
heroes
yeah.
learn to be a superhero.
Learn
Please
from the
do.
mistakes.
Yeah. Because you look at Iron Man was an Iron Man 1 movie. It took him about two or
Yeah.
three
Mistakes.
movies to learn that.
Learn mistakes. Right. Yeah.
And and some of these Superman fans talk about some he puts be Superman 1 movie. I say um you expect somebody to learn how to be Superman and
And then yeah. No.
one day after learning he got powers and stuff like that, and him had to fight a villain and stuff like that, you expect him to be that? No. Uh, Unless he had it for a while doing that movie, that's different. If you would have said that he had a power for about 6 months to a year, I say okay, he supposed to be Superman already. He supposed to have that um on that value system already, and he had it for more than 6 months to a year. But that's what in Man of Steel, he didn't even he didn't even learn how to control it his flying ability and stuff like that until he got grown
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Because they might you look at the movie, he was hiding most of the time helping people. He was like helping people up in civilian form. He wasn't Superman. Because you look at Brandon Roof Superman, Brandon Roof wasn't how he helping people in his civilian form. He was doing that Superman most of the time. But that's what just as a civilian helping people across the street, stuff like that. No, he wasn't doing it in him form most of the time. And and that what people fail to realize most of the time. Sound like people who like the old Superman movies. If you ask them this question right here, talk to them, did your Superman help people more than Henry Cavill Superman up in civilian form? I bet them people will come up with excuses for it. I bet they will.
Yeah.
I bet they do it. I bet they do it too. I bet they do it. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Uh, and and kind of like the thing for me, in my opinion, was and kind of like thing, in my opinion about it, it sounds like if they could bring in Henry Cavill to be the Superman that was in 2017 Justice League, what Josh Whedon did, and
Right.
bring that
Yeah.
one back, oh
Right.
boy,
Good. Mm-hmm.
boy, that'd be a good version of Superman.
I bet
Should
it.
you bring should you bring the Josh Whedon back? You know I do. Josh Whedon, come on back, brother.
Yes, please. You could ban that for.
Please, please come back. Because these new writers just for like
Oh,
Shazam
that's fine.
2 and everybody
The
else like that,
comics.
they not hitting it.
No,
These new writers ain't hitting it. Josh Whedon, come on back.
please.
I
Yeah.
would take the backlash. I would take
Yeah.
the backlash. I do not care.
Yeah.
Because that's what I tell the fans. He is a real director and writer. Separate, separate y'all feelings from everything else. Shoot. Separate your feelings for everything else when you look at this movie. And that's my problem. Most of the time when you ask people. And that's my problem about and that's my problem most of the time dealing with people that say Henry Cavill too old. I'm looking at them, I said, wait a minute. How old is your Iron Man right quick? Before y'all Marvel people just start talking junk just by actors just being too old. Tony about 40 something hit 50 in it, and he still was Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that actor's too old. As long as the actor keep in shape and he willing to do it, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm good. And that one people, in my opinion, fail to realize most of the time. And, but my opinion, it's based on different stuff. It's based on different stuff, in my opinion. Because like that, in my opinion, which I liked about this version of DC, it sounds like they is willing to reboot the stuff that they don't
Mistakes for right. To fix the mistakes for the different. Yeah.
like. Yeah, and they actually erased that bad Harley Quinn movie. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they erased that bad Harley Quinn movie. God, oh, I'm glad they did that. Because because they did Cassandra King wrong, bro. God, no, they did her wrong compared to the one that's in the comics. Because I'm looking at everybody, I say, so you do know the one up in the comics can actually fight, and
Yes.
she would actually train before Batman got to it, and Batman trained her some more, and she was older.
Yeah.
Because you telling me you got an older Batman, but you telling me that big old Cassandra Kane is still young? No, that junk don't work like that. Because you bring me an older Batman, Cassandra Kane supposed to be grown too, based on stuff like that. Come on, that don't make no sense in my opinion. To bring up one movie, you telling me in DC that you bring in a older Batman. If you bring out older Batman, you supposed to have an older Cassandra Kane. That mean Nightwing grown, Red Hood grown. Let me see what else. Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl. Um, Cassandra Strange supposed to be at least about 16, 17, something like that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because thing about DC telling us, DC telling us that Batman's older. If Batman older, that means everybody supposed to be grown. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you hear about the news that on that Marvel might be thinking about putting Chris Evans Human Torch in Deadpool 3 as CGI or something like that? Because that gotta make that movie bad. That gotta make that movie bad, bro. Because that's what if you bring back Chris Evans, you gotta have bring back Jessica Alba, you gotta have bring back Ben Grimm, and plus you gotta bring back Mr. Fantastic if you bring in him a torch. Because that's what if you bring one, you bring the others too. I don't get it in my opinion. What is Marvel thinking with that? That make no sense. In my no sense. That don't make sense in my opinion to bring in the Human Torch. That's what's in Fox. When it wait a minute. Marvel got the rights to it, don't it?
For sure. Yeah.
Oh shucks. They need to hire a new Human Torch. Because think about it, Chris Evans just ain't coming back to do that part.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. and that was some people just gonna realize how some he's not coming back to do it. And kind of like the one thing that I would want to see, like for DC, like if they make a Green Arrow movie, they need to put the Flash in it.
Yeah.
At least for the second Green Arrow movie. The first Green Arrow movie, just tease me at the end. That's it. But for the first Green Arrow movie, they gonna need to put a good story and action choreography in it. Because the Green Arrow show tell you that people will actually look at it if the story is good. Because the first two, three, or four seasons, people actually was consistent looking at every week and stuff like that. But that's what does when CWs just start putting in politics, that mess up the whole thing. And why do companies think something like politics don't work in superhero shows? Just try to make the best story just for each episode or for a movie or something like that. Just try to make the best story. It'd be good and stuff like that. In my opinion, in my opinion, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And it kind of like that. Um, 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 and kind of like the bad thing that I noticed and something like that. And they kind of like the other thing I would like to do for DC, that for Marvel to do is something like if they do make a Blade movie, um just make sure, in my opinion, that the fight choreography and story is actually good and actually be rated R. Because the thing about it, they said that the Blade movie is gonna be delayed or something like that because of the writer's strike. But I'm looking at them. I say, I'm looking at this. I said, wait a minute. Where is everybody criticism on Marvel push back Blade two or three times already, and nobody
Yeah.
says nothing about that because the Blade movie was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
Because you remember the calendar thing they shown, sound like just doing Comic Con. It supposed to came out 2022, 2023.
Like,
It's 2023 right now, and they push it back, and they claim it just because of the writer's strike. But I'm looking at them. I said, wait a minute. Then y'all had 2 years to write this.
it's off right now.
Then y'all had 2 or a year or something like that to write this movie, and you telling me that you can't write a good, decent
Good
one
one.
movie, a good movie in 1 year? Because the thing about it, you always make changes just doing shooting, just doing the photo shoot and movie shoots and stuff like that. You can always change the lines doing that if you want to do that with the actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You, because the thing about it, sure, they be claiming to also, we need more than a month. I know you need more than a month to write the story for a movie, but that's what you can't write it in a year.
Yeah.
Come on. And they be claiming to us, they were doing rewrites. I say, because you try to dumb it down to PG-13, and Blade is not a PG-13 movie. I
Yeah.
can't, because you notice the first two movies was rated R for Blade or hard PG-13, but
Yeah.
but that's what just a Marvel had touched it in the third movie. That was the worst of the trilogy. Because you look at the third movie, Marvel had their hands on it, and Blade didn't like the way Marvel was doing it, but he did it. But the thing is, he didn't like the way Marvel writing the story, and that's what it's showing in the third movie. Cause I just don't get it. Blade write the first movie. What's his nice help write the first one. He helped write the second one. Why can't you just leave him alone and just let him write the third movie? And, and plus, like in the third movie, it would have had Morbius in it. This thing.
Yeah.
If Marvel wouldn't have put their hands in it. we would have got Morbius. Because you saw after the first movie, it's on YouTube or something like that. It's some kind of deleted scene. Just for the first Blade movie, they had Morbius standing on top of the building looking at Blade. And he
Yeah.
would have been the third villain in the third movie, helping Blade out, helping helping him fight Dracula, I think, in my opinion. But the thing about it, the Marvel, just Marvel being Marvel, they like to beat them, and that's what, and that ended up being the worst out the three. We could have had a Morbius before this Morbius came out with Jared Leto. Shucks. We could have had Morbius a movie. I think, in my opinion. But the thing is, knowing Marvel, they like come in, do their stuff, and mess up. Should they mess up the whole thing?
Yeah.
And do you think that which year you think the third Transformers movie just might take place? Because the first one took place in the 1980s. This one is in 1994.
Yeah. Mm, that's a tough one.
Because the last one took place in 1980s. Remember the first one?
But yeah.
And and this one took place in 1994. That had to be like 2 or 3 years after. I think the third one might be in the 2000s,
Yeah. Yeah.
up up in the early 2000s. I think, in my opinion, that or 1999 going into the 2000s. If they want to stay in the 90s, I would do that. Or just 2001, 2002, 1999 to 2000 something. I I, I think of the Transformers movie, right? The third one that come out, they can start it in 1999 and like end it like in 2000 or 2001. Just saying that the war is going on for a while. Explain it like in montages. It'd be a good thing if they could do that. And and they can have like Megatron plotting in the back. I think some of that because that first scene of the third movie, we did not see Megatron yet. We ain't seen him. But the thing, in my opinion, I think he plotting somehow inside the movies, and we just don't see it yet.
Yeah.
Because so we know Megatron's not dumb. He's not a dumb leader,
Oh,
and 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 we didn't see Starscream either. I noticed that. Wait a minute. Oh, it was Predacon, I think, something like that. They wouldn't like Megatron anyway, because the villain in this movie um would have killed Megatron because so Megatron like to rule planets. If he feel that his people or his resources gonna be dead because of another villain that he don't like, he might work with Optimus Prime during that time, but after it's over, he just might stab you in the back.
yeah.
And kind of like the one thing for like Marvel I want to see is like another Iron Fist, like in a movie or a series. I think something like that, or just another series of him just redeeming himself, just as a reboot, as they call it, because they brought over Daredevil already. They need to bring over Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Be,
Done that.
be, because that character need a reboot quick. I don't get the reason why Marvel didn't use him in the first place. First, just to introduce it everybody. Because if you look at he's the richest out of everybody, and he can bring in Daredevil, everything like that. And you telling me that you can't bring in Iron Fist, one of the easiest characters to bring over? Come on, now, that just don't make sense in my opinion. And that's just me. That don't make sense. I think, in my opinion, for you to have Iron Fist, Jessica, Luke Cage, and you can't bring them in She-Hulk. She-Hulks meet everybody in Marvel, in the comic books. Because she met Hercules, she practically knew everybody most of the time in the comic books. And you telling me you couldn't put none of them in the series? That make no sense in my opinion. And that's why. And one of the writers talk about some, up in my opinion, they be talking about some woman power this, woman power that. I say, I know that females is capable of doing stuff. It's capable, but you cannot be telling me that you be like, how can I say this? That you cannot be telling me that your characters and stuff like that this sound like putting your politics ahead of the show. And that's the problem, I think, in my opinion. There's some people mess up at when they write shows most of the time. And that's kind of like the bad thing I notice most of the time. And that's kind of like the bad thing I notice. Like, kind of the bad thing. Could be a bad thing, bad, good, and stuff like that. And kind of like other thing I noticed, like, dealing with DC just might do in the future better than Marvel. It's something like they actually show their character power set more than Marvel. I noticed they show the choreography be better. The choreography that some and most of the DC supporting characters actually be better than Marvel's. They don't talk about politics in these shows most of the time. They talk about the villain they fighting. They talk about the villain in the story. That's what I noticed. Like in DC shows, before the CW start going, what they be doing?
Yeah.
Because you look at it, in my opinion, I want to see, in my opinion, a Wonder Girl, because we got a Wonder Woman already in 2 movies of her. I think it's time to bring a Wonder Girl. They could bring in a Raven, or just tease a Teen Titans just with a Robin movie, because we know that that they having a Batman and Damian Wayne movie. And he might be the first members of the Titans, I think, too. The Damian Wayne Robin. That would actually be a good thing, in my opinion, if they could bring him in. And you can bring in Damian Wayne. Oh man, Damian Wayne aside a Batman Frontier movie. Wait a minute, Damian Wayne coming. I know the League of Shadows coming, because if the League of Shadows coming, that means that Rashad Groove is gonna be coming too. That just me, in my opinion. And they want to cast a new. They want to cast a new Lois Lane, but I'm looking at this. That young this young Lois Lane Superman. Just put them in Earth 2. I'm good with that. Because think about it, if I was a villain and plus shoot, I see this boy right here that's in front of me, or stuff like that. I was a villain, I wouldn't be scared of him. I'll be more scared of this Henry Cavill Superman than him, in my opinion. Is this one awesome? But some people just might think I'm biased, but I'm not being biased. But because think about it, the best Batman, I think, in my opinion, is Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and Christian Bale. Yeah, those three top ones: Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck. Those are the top three. And that's Bruce Wayne. That's George Clooney. He one of the best Bruce Waynes. And cool as Batman though. But the kind of thing I hope DC could bring in is bringing Status Shock as they would be, because we need a Status Shock movie.
I go into it now.
We need a Status Shock movie or a series, one of them. And the kind of other thing that I don't get that some people be hating on most of the time is something like they say that DC take itself too seriously. Look at the characters we write. Our characters is serious. Y'all too used to Disney and Marvel always be like putting jokes in the comic books and stuff like that, putting heroes. Because you ask people right now what hero they know from Marvel, they always say Spider-Man. I say, God dog, it's that's all y'all know is jokes, man. That's all y'all know is jokes. Because think about it, if y'all actually read about other Marvel characters, the X-Men be serious, Thor is a serious character, Captain America, and people tell me, I know Spider-Man. I'm looking at them. I say, Spider-Man is not a popular hero, but that's what he's not the best one. And kind of like the only live action Spider-Man that kind of brought him justice a lot, is Tobey as Peter Parker in Spider-Man. And some of the other people talk, so at least Andrew was a good Spider-Man. I say, wait a minute. You is missing 50% of the character, Peter Parker. He wasn't. Oh man. Because you look at Andrew, he wasn't working, and he wasn't trying to help us on out throughout the movie. You look at the Andrew, what's his name? Andrew McGuire, I think, something like that.
Right.
That throughout the movie, his one didn't. But when you look at Tobey Spider-Man, he was trying to get a job, help his aunt, uncle, and plus he was fighting crime. Andrew Spider-Man wasn't doing that. Tom Holland Spider-Man could have been different and better, but that's what Marvel decided to keep him in high school. I say, really? I say, why would you keep Peter Parker Spider-Man in high school? Man, that gentleman get on my nerves every time I see that. Because this still talks on that's a young Spider-Man. I want him to grow. I'm sick of these young characters talking something. I want them to grow. I don't care about your growing. So you Spider-Man, what are we talking about? You growing?
Yeah.
That just don't matter just to a villain down the street that you'll be a teenager, and Tobey learned that. And he learned that during his first cry thing. He stopped because he took it seriously. He wasn't joking. He wasn't laughing. He saved the people. He saved the people. He put them in the web, and he just put them. He just put them where the cops could get them. That's it.
Right.
Tom Holland Spider Man, like he can't even save one person. I'm looking at this. I say, really? And he was actually strong in Civil War. I'm looking at this. I say, wait a minute. What happened to the Tom Holland that was in Civil War that was strong, bending on the Winter Soldier hand back and stuff like that? He in his own movie, he dumbed down.
Mm.
Because then, in my opinion, I think the trilogy should have been handled just by the Russell brothers, the Russo brothers. Because you look at it, they brought the best Spider-Man, just not everybody that made a movie. They brought the best, and kind of like that. If they doing like a multiverse thing, like Sony claimed they're doing, Craven supposed to be up in the MCU, unless that Craven is separate from the MCU, and that'd be dumb. I think, in my opinion, to separate that Craven from the MCU. I think, in my opinion, because so you bring that Craven out, that would actually force Tom Holland to actually, in my opinion, grow up. Most of the time, I think. Because the bad thing about it, shoot, not even the Power Rangers take this long to grow up, and they would have because you look at the Power Rangers, the first episode, they see danger, they already know that shoot, if they don't morph or actually fight, so they dead. Tom Holland, 3-4 movies, he's still trying to be a kid. I'm looking at him, I say, you can be a kid, but that's what just be like. How can I say this? You got to be like vigilant in what you is and stuff. Plus that to the villains, and that's my problem. And that's my problem. I think, in my opinion, for some people, they might not like it, but everybody different though. And play, you heard about the Money in the Bank? It sounds like they had the Usos, Penn and Roman. I'm looking at this. I say Triple H. I like my head. I say in my head. I say, why would you have Jay Uso or the twins, Penn and Roman? They should have just ended the match with some kind of disqualifications and just said that it was no winner. Why? Because you build this 3-year story up of Roman being unbeatable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why would you have Jay Penham right there? Not for the championship or nothing. You just did it just for a tag team match, just to do it. And this is the reason why Vince like to step in sometimes. This is exactly the reason why Vince like to step in. Because think about it, people be mad at Vince for stepping in, but that's what Vince wouldn't have Jay Uso pin Roman Reigns just for a non-title match. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because think about it now, that Triple H slipping up now. Triple H slipping up. The Money in the Bank was cool. Money in the Bank was cool. I like Rhea Ripley matches. Most of the matches was good. But that one match with the Usos, that was actually a bad decision, I think, in my opinion. And some of the people TikTok something, I'm glad he got pinned. I'm looking at them, I say, have y'all not learned from Bobby Lashley, the Big Shaw, everybody who WWE just have unbeatable. The writers messed up this story and they couldn't hardly recover in their career. Come on. Because look at it, people just now starting to cheer for Bobby Lashley again. Shoot, that took years to get that back because of the bad writing. This everybody talks on. Yes, he pinned Roman. I'm looking at everybody. I say, do y'all not get the long-term consequences of this? It
Yeah.
wasn't for a title. Roman Reigns would not lose the next match. He's not gonna lose it. Do people just not get it? Sound like Drew McIntyre just not pin him. Everybody that pinned him the first time. That's not the problem. For non-title matches, you can beat them easy, non-title. But that's what for the title matches. I think, in my opinion, if the Usos, I think in my opinion, get the title, Roman Reigns and Solo is coming from titles. I hate to say it. If they actually get them titles back for Sami and KO, Roman Reigns will try to go for them titles just to hurt the Usos. Because we know the Usos care about the tag team championship more than anything.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And that, in my opinion, actually be a good thing, I think, in my opinion. But some people it's better, though, in my opinion. And some of the other things that I like about that the Usos having a good match, that's not my problem. That because the Usos always have good matches. That's not my problem. My problem is having a winner doing that match. I say that don't make sense. Why would you pick a winner doing that match and you were Triple H? If you a writer, why would you write Roman Reigns getting pinned? If that was Solo or something like Sami Zayn or somebody come in and mess up the whole match, that would have been different.
Yeah.
That would have been different if they lose like that. But that's what, just having Roman getting pinned, I say, because they had Roman getting pinned just to have a pop on social media. That's what I think the reason why they did it. Just for a pop on social media. But I'm looking at them, I say, having a pop on social media on the internet just don't mean nothing if the title wasn't on the line, and the titles wasn't even on the line during that match. And Roman and Solo didn't even had a tag team goal. What's the purpose of having that match? What's the purpose? That make no sense. The Usos twins or Roman and Solo didn't even have no tag team goal. What in the world was the purpose of making that match? Because the feud lasted less than 2 weeks. Remember, last week Friday, this week Friday, and they made a match that quick. I said, why did you just make it? How can I say this? Dang. Why can't you just make it like a whole month? Make it last a month. Then on the boiling point, you know what I mean? And make it at least a month. They did this in 2 weeks. And that is a Triple H decision. Because we all know that this was a Vince decision. Vince would have make it about how can I say this? Vince would have made it last a month or two. Build it up. Build up the Civil War, build up the animosity and stuff like that, and different the boiling point reach, and that would the match be that'd be the match be set.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And that would have been better. But some people on the internet just want to argue with me in these comments after this live stream grew up and say I'm just salty. I say I'm a Roman Reigns fan. That's what if they would have built like the right way. It sounds like just gonna make it less than 2 weeks. They made it less than 2 weeks. This tag team is less than 2 weeks. That's not even unbelievable. To have an issue like that in less than 2 weeks and make a match. Come on. We all know the Usos just win at that. Because they might say in my head, if they do it after the first week. I said no, they didn't do it. Okay, the WWE might be second week. Solo, the Uso twins still fighting after the match. They made a match right then. I say 2 weeks, really? That's all y'all give it 2 weeks to build up? That don't make sense. In my opinion, to build up a match that puts me that big. Because you look at it, shoot, the Drew McIntyre beef lasts about 3, 4, 5 months. I think the Drew McIntyre beef, and they wasn't even fighting most of the time. They was talking, having lines. That Roman Reigns was doing his matches and stuff like that. I just don't get how everybody is like actually happy this happened. Because I look at everybody, I say, y'all do know that the championship wasn't just on the line, right? And all y'all happy? Because you know Roman go into just a whole different mode just when the championships is online. And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens just barely was lucky. They got out. They was lucky. They was lucky to win them championships because in my opinion, Roman Reigns had Kevin Owens pinned 1, 2, 3, but the referee was slow. Do some counts, but Sammy pinned him. That count was fast. I said, wait a minute now. Shoot. He clapped that hand real quick 3 for Sami Zayn, but Roman was doing it. It was kind of slow.
Yeah.
And plus, and Jay Uso don't know. Just being headed, just being ahead, it is kind of like big time. They don't get match, or they do something dumb. The head people, the head people over the table is like looking at Roman, funny. And that what he would try to tell Jay before Jay kick him in the face to talk something. You out. I said, wait a minute. You wasn't even relevant before Roman got you. You was a good tag team, but you wasn't relevant in everybody's mouth. Like in the wrestling, community and stuff like that. Come on. I just don't get the purpose of just like turning on Roman. That's kind of dumb because you look at it, main event Mafia didn't even turn against each other. The Road Warriors didn't turn against each other. They just got older and they just separate. I don't get the reason why WWE like to separate stables. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Why do you like to separate stables? Because if you look at the Shield wasn't the same way after they separate and try to get back together. The people didn't even believe it. After a while, they start booing them. I say, why? I say, I had to say, why, man? And kind of that last thing I want to talk about is like about I think Ben Affleck is coming back to be Batman, but the thing is, in my opinion, it sounds like he might be working out a contract. I think it sounds like that. Since it's a multiverse, he might be working out a contract, I think, for his movies. I think, in my opinion. Because you look at the Black Adam is coming back. Since this reboot came, Black Adam coming back, and that's actually a good thing. Hawkman because Black Adam coming back, so you know Dr. Fate, Hawkeye, and plus the big old Tornado Girl coming back. Those 4 coming back with Black Adam. Those 4 or 5 characters right there. And And kind of like the bad thing about it, how did The Rock brought in Hawkman, Doctor Fate, most of the old Justice Society in one movie, and DC can't even
Um,
do it? The
well, that
Rock
could
did
be
it in
interesting.
one movie. On The Rock made everybody shine with their power sets in one movie. And DC act like they can't do it in three and four. Come on, man, that make no sense. But think about it. Doing this reboot, shoot the Flash show was showing his power though. The Flash was showing it. I said, God,
Yeah.
no, that because like the other Flash, I don't think he dead though. Just the one that got stabbed. I don't think
Yeah.
he dead. I think he might be trapped in one of the time vortexes.
Right.
That's what I think. Because think about it, the shoot the 18-year-old Flash actually learned how to phase in less than a day. And
Mm,
because so he might be trapped by one of the mentors, and he might get out. I think, in my opinion, and he might learn how to control the Speed Force, and him not use it too much. Sound like the older Barry was telling him.
right.
Wasn't that Zoom? I think Professor Zoom that had knocked him out to Speed Force the first time.
Well, that was the Dark Flash or alternate variant from Dark Flash.
Man, I hated that
Yeah.
sucker
Yeah.
because Flash would because that Dark Flash might turn into Professor Zoom in the next movie. That's what I think. That might be because he might be the one who might be evil. I think something like that, and might kill one of Bill reverse Flash family members, and and plus that reverse Flash might be have a vendetta against the good
Yeah.
Flash if they're doing a reboot. And kind of like the bad thing, and the kind of bad thing I noticed, like time for movies and stuff like that, which I noticed for like Marvel movies. Marvel movies always show the action scenes in some of their movies and no story most of the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Captain Marvel movie, the bad movie, the Captain Marvel, they show the action scenes and put a little bit of story. I look at that. I say, wait a minute now. What's the story about? It didn't really show it in third three of them. It could have talked about some. It's the other movie. I said, wait a minute now. I said, what am I going on? You tell me all these movies and stuff like that supposed to be like this, and you don't know how to do it. I say, man, should that junk get on my nerves sometimes? Because I'm looking at this, I say, really? Y'all don't know how to write an X-Men movie? It was over 3 or 4 years as y'all claim y'all got to write the X-Men. And it's not the Hawk movie. It just not got the rights to that. I understand the reason why they couldn't write the Hawk movie because they might Universal had the rights to the Hawk. Now they got it back. Should you try to tell me? You trying to tell me most of the time they can't even do that job? You can't even write. You can't even write a premise for an X-Men movie, and especially just from the original five. That makes no sense, in my opinion. It don't. But everybody could be different though.
Yeah.
Um, and before I leave that, Barco, that how much money do you think this Blue Beetle make that on the Blue Beetle movie probably can make if the movie is good?
Like better than Flash movie. What the Flash movie worth
Okay.
is must
Eh,
have to be like double of that one for. No. Yeah.
okay. Because think about me, just for a Blue Beetle movie, I think the $400 to $500 million might be good. So at the whole run, 400 to $600 million is good. Especially especially for a character that's new. 400 million is good. And plus, we gotta remember, Blue Beetle is not a Justice League character. He's like a Teen Titan character that came into the Titans. I think, in my opinion. And if I leave, yeah, y'all can follow me on TikTok along with Barcode down here. Phantom Multiverse. It's Multiverse 28 now. I think on TikTok because his other TikTok got taken or he not using. I think something like that. But Lori, Britt Rose, Brooke, JoJo fan, yeah, Omega, Phantom 1396. All
that's
this,
good. Good.
yeah. Oh yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Can I ask a question
and
though?
for everybody. Oh, okay,
Question. Yeah.
okay, and
You know the Flash. Sorry. The Flash movie. Can work like when from the Flash one going to each Flash, right? Like Jake Eric plays like not real one is CGI model of it. Like know that so
oh, okay.
yeah,
Be,
because
be,
Take Eric from he was not in
yeah, time for Flash. I think Ezra Miller is a good one, but then Grant Gustin is a better Flash than me. Um,
yeah,
but Ezra Miller is good.
but
I
it's
like him.
behind it.
He sound like number two, but he get another movie. If he can expand on on his character, he could move up to 1B.
Good, but yeah,
But the thing about it, Grant Grant Gustin is still the best Flash, I think, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Ezra Miller is not a bad Flash, but he just not good as Grant
great.
Gustin.
Yeah, yeah.
Just as two characters combined together, everything like that. And for everybody on Twitch and YouTube, I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all next time.
See ya.